You ready?
I'm Marquise.
Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. I said certified freaks. 7 days a week. Wet ass P-word. Make that pull-out game weak. Yeah. Yeah, you effing with some wet ass P-word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P-word. Give me everything you've got for this wet ass P-word. Beat it up and catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P-word right in your face. Wipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top if I want to ride. I do a kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P-word is wet. I'm taking a dive. It continues along these lines. And it gets significantly more vulgar. Like a lot more vulgar. Talk your S-word, bite your lip, ask for a call while you ride that P-word. You really ain't never gonna F him for a thing. He already made his mind up before he came. Now get your boots and your coat for this wet-ass P-word. Pay my tuition just to kiss me on this wet-ass P-word. Right, so, this is, guys, this is what feminists fought for. This is what the feminist movement was all about.
Oh, no, he didn't. Miss Peaches?
I'm Marquise. It's real. It's real. It's real.
Hold up.
So if you wonder where you weave or your fashion over fucking packages have arrived, guess what, bitch? Coronavirus. Shit is real. Coronavirus. Shit is real. Shit is getting real. Shit is real. Coronavirus. Shit is real. Shit is getting real. Shit is real. Coronavirus. Shit is real. Coronavirus. Shit is real. Coronavirus. Shit is real. Shit is getting real. Shit is real.
All right, welcome. All right, tonight we got a lot of stuff to go over. We're gonna get started though. I want to welcome everybody to the show. If you tuned in, got a big night packed ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and bring my co-host on the stage, Lachey. Lachey was here with us last Friday. On the show, and she came here to talk about Grand Valley. Hold on, let me see what's coming from. Got a bad. I think she's still. Ooh, that's a bad. Don't know where it's coming from. I can figure out that echo. Okay. Still echo. It's not really bad right here. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna get started. I know where it's coming from up here. All right, let me get it out of here. Okay. So tonight, Lachey is here. I think she's here. Let me add her on this screen. I want to welcome Lachey back to this, right? Here Friday about gun violence, which was a great show. Hey, Lachey.
Hi. Ooh, hat fly.
Yeah, no, right?
Hey.
The echo going on. Oh my God. Can you hear me echoing?
No, you're not echoing on my end.
I'm not. Maybe it's just me. Let me see. Every time I say something, I hear it. It's arcing. But anyway, hopefully it's not a bad echo. We got a lot of feedback on Messenger from echoing on the show Friday night. So hopefully it's not too bad. I'll try not to talk as much, and I'll let Lachey talk tonight since this is her debut. So I want to start off by talking about a few things before we deal with our guests tonight. I do want to remind you that we are on Facebook. You can go on Facebook. It's called Let's Talk on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. Make sure you go out and like us on Facebook. So far, we're up to, I want to say, 3,000. This is the page that's going about a week, up to 3,000 plus engagement. Friday night show was over 400 views. I think it had like 30 shares or 30 shares. We're on YouTube as well. I do want to let you know the chat box is open. If you want to chat in here, ask questions to us, to the special guest, you can do so. All questions are welcome. Author writer J.R. MACK in the book of Kaleidoscope. It's a thriller book. You want to get the book, but he'll bring it up in the show this evening. I'm gonna try to take a smaller commercial Friday night because we are doing that club, so we might want to stay on here a little later after. And don't feel scared to come on the camera and ask questions. I'll have to send you a link to come on, but don't be embarrassed to come on here, okay? And then I want to talk about Friday night show. Friday, October the 2nd, Judy Holloway will be on here. We have we may possibly have a debate campaign for the runoff for local cities in the area. Hopefully, we can get those guys to come on the show. Next Sunday, October the 4th, will be our last Sunday until the third Sunday in October. We're going to be doing Unplugged on Sundays, third Sunday, every third Sunday. But next Sunday, Delaney Kyles will be on here. It'll be a gospel set that she's going to bring to the show. She's supposed to bring a special guest. Some people may be viewing, they know him as on Green. He's on the show this week. Next Sunday. I will be launching the Josiah Cologne fragrance out at the end of October again. That fragrance will come out just in time for holidays. So I hope you guys support and get that fragrance. And make sure if you're not registered to vote, make sure you're registered to vote. This is going to be like one of the better campaigns in the making. So you guys want to make sure you're registered to vote, okay? And you want to add something to the setup? People that are going to be coming up next week. No, that's pretty much it. That's on the shows that's coming up next week for you guys. Again, we're not going to take that many commercials tonight, as JR is here. It's a Sunday. We're going to hold him long. I should decide to stay long. But it's a Sunday, so we're going to, pretty much started. I'm going to, again, remind the people that had the $25 gift cards, they have not responded yet. So tomorrow is the deadline. And I'm going to be holding on to those cards. You have to send them a message so I can know which type of card you want. From the giveaways that we had. If you're celebrating your birthday, happy birthday to everybody in September. We're almost over with September, so we're ready to get going and moving on to October. If you got a birthday in September, leave a message in the chat. We do have a $25 gift card for you. If you don't have, a birthday today, that's okay. You can still get the $25 gift card as long as you have a birthday in September. The chat box is located on your screen. All right. So, Jay isn't maybe backstage yet. So what we will do is we will take a break, and once we come back from this one of maybe three commercials, we'll go ahead and have Lachey read a little bit about JR and bring JR Magic on the set, okay? So you guys go ahead and relax. This should be a good show and a packed show as well. And we'll be right back.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. To you. Giving up is not an option. Happy birthday.
All right, welcome back. Right, see that echo in back again, and it's horrible. Okay. No. I'll have it up here. Can you still hear me? I think
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I hear you great. Welcome back to the show.
Awesome.
Red and Lachey. Let's see. Yeah. So I'm going to read this bio. I gave you the read it, or MACK, author and writer of 2016 of A Kaleidoscope of Love. And if you can write and read that, and I'm going to leave it over to you right now.
It may be your mic, your headset.
It could be. How about I do this? I don't know. It's weird. Can you still hear me?
I can.
That's a bad echo coming from somewhere, though. We'll just talk it out. I tossed it to the side. It's
Did you
gone.
unplug the headset?
Yeah, I don't know. I tossed it to the side. It's here. Yeah, it's over there now.
Okay. All
Maybe
right.
you have something to say about that.
It's okay. So we got Jay coming up.
JR, Matt, yes.
JR.
You gotta, he's not coming out here yet. I don't want him out here yet. I want to tell them a little bit about him.
Okay. You're echoing. We may have to take like a small break to fix this echo. How many units are you on over there?
I only have one unit.
One. Okay.
Oh, well, maybe two. If I do that, I leave. I'll figure it out. Let's take a small break because I don't want to be echoing on this thing.
Turn your volume down on your phone. Mute your phone.
I don't have my phone on.
Whatever other device you have, mute it. Other than the computer.
I just have to. I have a computer. I have my screen computer and
Okay. Well, let's take a break.
I'll just go to the laptop. I think I see where it's going. But I'll just move over. I'll move over to the other screen.
Okay.
Yeah, because that is. I don't want to. I can't do that.
Okay.
Let's see. All right, let me try it now. Can you hear me still?
You sound pretty good now. So whatever you did, you may have fixed it.
Do I sound pretty better now?
Oh yes.
Oh, okay, cool. So
No
I just,
echo.
all right, great. So you can go ahead.
Okay, so I'm looking on the screen and I see a kaleidoscope love, J.R. Mack. A kaleidoscope of love.
Yes.
So have you had the opportunity to read JR's book?
I've read some passages from it that he has on his Facebook page, author of J.R. Mack. I kind of read some stuff from there, but I do want to go. I am going to go. I should have got the book.
It's okay because being that he's coming on today, he can, because I want to know what it is I'm about to purchase.
Yeah.
I need him to sell his book to me and tell me why I need to purchase this book.
Got it. Well, I'm sure you'll be able to get some insight on that. I'm sure he'll have very good insight on his book, and I'm sure he'll be able to do it to you.
Okay, so let's tell the people a little bit about JR and who JR is. He's your friend. How long have you known JR?
No, JR, probably maybe 2020. I don't know, maybe 8 years, maybe
8 years.
about 8 years.
So you know him pretty well, I would say.
I know him. I know him enough. JR at a job. I want to say we were working for AT&T, and anybody knows working from home, you have a chat box that you have to communicate with. So I met him through a chat box, and he he was getting with some of the staff on the team, and I kind of reached out to him and said, "What are you doing?" And then he kind of asked me something that kind of stuck out. I was kind of like, "Why did you ask me?" And then I was like, "Are you?" So it just kind of went from there. So that's how I kind of JR.
Yeah,
He's a great guy, though. He's really
that's
sweet.
awesome. And what motivated you to bring JR on the show today?
Well, I know Jay because he wrote the book of Kaleidoscope of Love. So I wanted to have him come on and talk about the book. It stemmed from my debut show, White Men Want to Deal, and what do our women have to say about it? So I wanted to bring JR on the show because Jay can, in the book, he doesn't know each other. So it's about him and anybody he made up. He probably give some people some insight. I know I had a few people come in on that show that I really got to answer. Because Jay comes from marriage, Jay comes from a family, so a beautiful kid, and he might be able to enlighten some of the females on the show about those questions. And I don't want them to feel like they can't ask Jay anything. Jay's an attorney, so you can ask Jay questions. He's going to answer them. A little bit of background about Jay. Jay has a bachelor's degree in culinary, so he has a degree in preparing food. He writes music, he writes poetry. He's a great guy, or all over around.
What that plate
Yeah,
cover?
that's good. He's gonna kill me for getting these pictures, but that's they prepared that meal there.
Oh wow!
That's beautiful. It looks like something you buy at a restaurant.
Absolutely, I would purchase it.
He loves it. He loves to cook. He has he's a great guy. And I don't know. He's just a silly guy, but he's a great guy. Jay has he's done a lot since his childhood, and he's grown up to be a very
He's come a very long way.
Yeah, he has on his book. And he has a great career going for him, and he's doing pretty good. So without further ado, I do want to bring him on stage because I don't want to keep him here long. I don't.
Right.
I'm going to open up the panel for questions, and I'm going to bring him on, and we can kind of ask him questions, and then we can kind of fill in there, okay? Because I'm not going to take any too many commercial breaks with him on here. So without further ado, I will bring J.R. MACK, writer and author. of the book, The Kaleidoscope of Love. The
A
King James
kaleidoscope of love.
Yes. It
Yes.
can be purchased on Barnes and Nobles, and it can be purchased on I want to say Amazon, and I'll let him tell you about that more about it. And look,
Ah,
yes,
y'all, this is gonna be a good one here, ladies. Especially ladies.
and like I said, don't feel Jay is very vocal, so you can ask Jay whatever. Don't feel embarrassed to ask him questions because that's what he's here for. You know what I mean? So I do want to bring our third writer, 2016, I like J.R. Mack on the show. Hey Jay, how are you? Jay, can you hear us over here?
We need you to move a kaleidoscope of love from the middle.
Yeah, right now. Hey Jay. All right, Matt. He's got to get his mic from y'all. He's coming. He is coming. Oh, chef.
Jay got this little picture in the background, little dog sitting up there. Go ahead on, JR. I've been trying to decide on what I'm gonna put back here on my wall.
Oprah. Hey, how you doing? Can you hear us? We can't hear you. I had volume issues too.
You hear me?
We can hear you. I can. Can you hear
Hi,
me?
yes, we can hear you.
What's going on?
We're just chilling like a villain on a Sunday.
So yeah, my bad. I was talking to my daughter. I didn't realize y'all had already. So my bad. I'm sorry.
Come on, I saw you come back in this backstage. I was like, oh, he might be right.
Blame your friend. Blame your friend. He over there controlling everything.
Hey, what's going on? Don't mind. Jay, Mac, that's Lachey. Lachey, that's
Hi, Jay. Well, let me introduce myself. I am Wanda Lachey Ellis. I am that crazy person's cousin.
whatever.
And I'm just here. I'm
Okay.
here. This is everything. This is all his idea. I'm just here going along with the ride.
She actually has questions too for you, JR.
And I have lots of questions. I'm going to ask the questions nobody else want to answer.
JR, tell us, I know we had your book.
Okay.
I was reading on the author J.R. Mack Facebook page that he has. There's an author J.R. Mack Facebook page too that y'all can subscribe to. I was reading on those passages, so I think more or less some of these women on here they're gonna want to ask you some weird stuff. Not weird to us, but weird to them. But, and I'm gonna let them ask whatever, but they want to ask. I want to ask you, what inspired you to write that book?
Well, first, let us get a little bit about you, Jay.
Okay. Well, 35 years old, have two daughters, ages 8 and 6, originally from Brooklyn, New York, living here in Augusta, writing, cooking. I'm working on the second book, the follow-up to A Club Love. It will be called, I'll get back to you in a second, I forgot. I changed the title. It wasn't be love. Also, yeah.
Love Changes. I saw something on the I was like, Love Changes. When's that come out?
That's the title.
Yeah, I changed the title. It's not gonna be Love Changes. It's gonna now be Out. That's the name of it now. Out of Turn.
All time, like ILL.
No, Out. OUT. Out of Turn.
Out of Turn.
Oh, okay. Second book, Out of Turn. Okay, gotcha.
Because figure like.
You have to tell them to be quiet. What are you doing?
What'd you say?
I said, I thought you was telling somebody to be quiet in the background. Quit telling them to be quiet. And then we can
no, I'm saying it's okay. like
Okay. Okay. I'm like, what are you doing?
room asking to use the bathroom.
Okay.
The one in the yellow, Melody Ryan, she is 8. And the smaller one is Lyric Renee, she is 6. Those babies.
They are beautiful.
Yeah, those guys are good. They're growing up. I mean, they were small.
Thank
Wow.
you, thank you.
Small like that small.
Yes,
So
babies,
what?
babies.
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, oh, they're small. They're grown up now.
Wow. What inspired the book, A Kaleidoscope of Love?
Okay, initially, it was just me writing. To start off, basically like a diary. After a relationship that I was in, and as I was in, it became pretty lengthy. So I was like, "There's some stuff here. This is good. Let me turn it into a book." And so, and that was back in 2005, 2004, 2005. I released it like 10 years later. Yeah, those are my girls, and that's my boyfriend right there. But yeah, it just came from a relationship. It was not good, and yeah, that me up. And so it started a book, and yeah, it just went from there.
Is it an easy process as far as writing a book? Because I've been thinking about writing a book. But this is your story. This is about your life. So but after this show is over, I definitely would love to talk to you, kind of see how you started jumping.
To actually write.
Yes, to write it.
Like, I guess we want to know, like, when you sat down to write the book, like, what were you thinking? Like, when you sat down, and how did you brainstorm and
it's
say,
not
oh, I want to
hard
put this out in writing?
When I sat down and started actually writing it, when I wanted to actually turn it for people to understand actually that I based on the experience that I went through. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to really give the book away, but if you had, I just didn't want anyone to look at me a certain way as they were just wanting to understand me as a young person, that was coming out, finding themselves trying to understand who they are, what was going on. I was like, you know what, I'm just right. If they think of me one way, fine, whatever, y'all go ahead and do your thing. But I know what I am. I know it, and I know the purpose of writing this book and getting my emotions out.
Okay, so the book is primarily is it about you? Because Antonio was trying to tell me that you was once married. So is the book about you being married
Yes.
and coming out as a gay man?
Oh, this is actually before my marriage. Yeah, so my wife, well, my ex-wife, my wife at that time, she knew that I was bisexual. Everyone knows that. I don't hide anything from if I'm dealing with you as far as in a relationship or anything. So one that I've dealt with has known my sexuality from day one.
Right. I think Antonio is more or less worried or concerned. He don't want us, the audience, coming at you in a negative, type way or making you feel uncomfortable.
Right.
But I told him he have to trust the process because at the end of the day, we're all grown up here, and we're going to control the atmosphere. Understand me? You don't have to be uptight or afraid or ashamed. You are who you are. You chose your life. We don't have nothing to do with that. We're just here to hear your story and why we should buy this book. Don't be afraid or ashamed as to who you
Yes.
are because you already chose that.
And they want to, and the
Oh
real
yeah,
reason, JR,
like never.
the real reason why they're here, I'm gonna just put it out there. A lot of women where I'm from or wherever, they just like want to know. They just want to know how in a man's brain, right? So they know about their men. I guess it's a lot of concern about that how would they know if someone is on the DL or bisexual or whatever. And I told
So
them
y'all
I wouldn't
trying
have you
so y'all trying to find out if y'all man,
No.
you trying to
most
find out if
viewers,
your man
probably not her, but most viewers are, and that's why most viewers that I know. That's why they're tuning into the show tonight. They're like,
No,
"Well, can we ask him whatever? Can we ask him anything? You can ask him
no,
whatever you want to ask
no,
him,
no.
of course."
If our man is gay or not. We trust our man.
Not you, but some people have inboxed me seriously. Like, I'm no joke. I have questions now in my inbox on my Let's Talk page. I had a lady ask me, let me grab my phone. See, now this is the type of stuff, and I don't know Jay can even answer these questions, but you may. I can't answer them. But
Hey.
I don't
let
know
me get
if
my phone out right
I
quick.
don't have a problem.
Yeah, he doesn't have a problem with it. I told them one thing about you. You're very vocal. You're going to give your opinion. You may say some curse words, but he's JR. But somebody wanted to know.
Yeah.
He's straight to the point. He's an Aquarius. Come on, here we go. But no, somebody asked me, they say, legal pull the question up. They want to know.
So you questions already? People are curious.
Oh God, yeah. I have in my message, in my messenger on my talk page. And a lot of people from my debut show, they didn't want to ask questions, so they asked me questions in the side messages, so I saved them for this special moment. So we can kind of clear the air with some of these people. But, like, I can't tell you if your boyfriend's gay or not. Like, I don't know, but I can only. I wanted you to come on here because you have a perspective of being bisexual. You know what I mean? You can tell them what are some of the things men do or how they act around them. Because one lady asked me last week. She said, "How would I know if my man, I may say something to him or something, or want to meet him and go out to dinner?" I said, "He's just not gonna. If you start getting excuses like, oh, he's got to take care of somebody elderly in the family or something like that, come out every 3 weeks or so, he's the end of the deal in the life." So, because I've had that experience. But that was just a personal experience.
Yeah.
But I wanted you because you have done both sides. You've been married, kids, and in a domestic relationship. So I wanted you to share your light on this whole topic. And she may not want to know, but I do have questions of people. There's some real weird questions they've asked me. I told them to read the book. That might help them out too. They read the book. But y'all don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah, definitely not. Again, like Antonio said, he knows I'm literally an open book. Someone who easily text. If you got a question, want to know something, ask, and you go get. It might not be the answer you want to hear, but you're gonna get an answer.
Hold on in the kitchen.
Well, I think they're being shy again. They're being shy. So I'm going to ask a question to you, Jay, here from one of the questions that I got in my inbox, okay? A lady asked, and I feel really embarrassed about asking this question. I really do.
Go ahead.
It's a sexual question, okay? So they wanted to know.
Look, go.
Oh my God, I feel embarrassed to ask it. They want to know: does guys like their females? This lady said she. I'm gonna try to make it brief, but she was like, I have sex with my husband a lot, and she said that my husband always likes me to touch his anals, and she wanted to know. Is that normal for a bisexual or straight man?
I mean, yeah, like, okay, so how I feel is when it comes to sex, what you and your partner do, that's y'all business. Almost cursed, I'm sorry.
No, you're
That's
fine.
what I'm saying.
You're okay. You are okay.
Okay,
You're
so
okay.
that's y'all
If a cuss word slides out, you're okay.
So your man can be straight if he wants you to. He shouldn't be
Just say
ashamed
interact.
no one should be ashamed to let their partner know what size them sexually. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you
That's all I'm saying.
if you a female, whether your man say, you know, hey, this is with you doing this.
It's called trying new
Things
things.
done to me. If something you feeling or something you ain't interested in, then you make that person go so they can go find somebody who's actually willing to
Do those things.
what's the word, to explore the different yeah sex,
That match.
you know, things
I
like
like to
that.
say find a
I mean,
person
I
that
don't
matches
think
your
the guy got straight on says he like his girl to or you know what I'm saying, guys are getting his big sex to make you gay. That's just what turns you on sexually. Period.
You're exploring, making the bedroom better.
Yeah. Do it in the bedroom. Don't worry about what.
Exactly. I just wanted to ask that. I wanted to get that question out there. That was the main question. One of the questions that came into my inbox.
I have a question. I have a question.
Sure.
Why
Okay.
why do men choose to be down low? What prevents them from coming out to say that I am bisexual? Because most cases it seems as though they just want to experience that other side. They don't really want to be gay. So it's like from time to time they want to dip over there and come back over here. But what would prevent a man from being on a down low and lying to their mate? Because that's what they're doing. They're lying. They're keeping secrets.
Yeah, and
Is that
men do
a
that
gay
because
man?
society. Because
Is that, or is that the female?
toward gay people. You was cutting out. I'm sorry. What was I didn't hear this. I didn't hear it.
What prevent a man from being honest to his mate?
Fear. I mean, if you know, not necessarily just that maybe society. If you're not confident, or if you're seeing a bunch of stuff about. Okay, the thing that gets me is that people think that bisexual is a choice, and no one chooses to be ridiculed every day. No one chooses to be hated every day. No one chooses to get beat and threatened at. You know, like it's in you. That you're born that way. Like I've been attracted to men and women. You know, growing up. So
I have another question here.
Yeah,
too.
like
I wanted to know when you said that they said that people choose to be gay. Nobody chooses to be gay. You know what I mean? I mean, we choose to be gay because we have our own opinions. You know what I mean? But you're not born gay. One lady asked, "Are you born gay?" You're not born gay. So I answered that. Unless you Jay, you come in on that, I don't know.
Okay, wait, I'm sorry because I can't see the words for anything. I can't see.
Yeah, these are in my messengers.
Chat.
Yeah, these are in my messengers. But
Oh, okay. What is? I'm not sure what's going on here. Hold on. I got a box.
Okay.
Okay. Shay, I can't do anymore.
Okay, I thought y'all heard me, but yeah, there's no messages in the actual chat box. These are in my inbox from my Let's Talk page. You do have a lot of
I'm
fans
not,
here that
but
tell you to
okay,
tell
my
you,
bad.
hey, Krista and AJ, they're all telling me to tell you hello. Can you hear us now, Jay?
Yeah, I just heard you.
Yeah, it's like a delay on your end. You're getting the messages coming to you a little delayed. That might be on your
Yeah,
end.
I don't see any. I can't see any of the chat.
Yeah, I see the chat. Those chats
You
that
know,
I'm trying that I'm reading, they're
look
coming
at
from my inbox.
it
You
on
want to
my
exit and come
phone.
back in there? Yeah,
He
come
wanna,
back in there.
you got to go into the chat, into the line.
Yeah, they're in the live chat. But no, not those messages. Those messages were in my inbox, in
I'm
my
not
in
looking at
messenger.
my phone.
You gonna come in on your phone?
And everything in my phone now.
Oh, okay, good.
Who is this for a free book? Who is Shannon Wilson? Shannon Wilson, you cannot get a free book. My kids eat food and no clothes. So you're going to have to find it from Amazon.com. A Classic of Love by author J.R. Mack.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. Y'all have to go to buy. You have to buy the book. Come on and buy the book. And it's on. It's on. He's author J.R. Mack on Facebook. You can read his page there. But no, he doesn't give free books. J.R. doesn't give free anything. So you have to go buy the book. You just buy it and read it. They answer some of your questions. Oh,
I'm going to definitely purchase the book because in order for me to ask the questions that I want to ask, um, I got to reach a book first. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, and that makes sense.
I can't sit up here and pretend that I can actually ask you the proper questions because I know from my own personal experience that when certain topics are very sensitive when you are speaking within the LGBTQ community. It's just certain things that is I don't know the right words to say. Okay, I don't
Yeah.
know all the acronyms and the letters and all this stuff. So I try to be mindful of people's feelings when I talk. I try
Yeah.
to think about what I'm going to say before I say it because when it comes to my life, I'm an open book. I don't hold back nothing. I'm a
Same
straight
here.
heterosexual black female that have experienced many things in my life, and there's some that I haven't experienced. So I judge no one, but there's a lot of things that I don't understand when it comes to the LGBTQ community. My cousin is my cousin. I look at him as my cousin. You know, I tell him how I feel. You know, but I mean, you probably can't have that same conversation. I probably can't say
Right.
what
Because
I feel.
to you, I'm a complete stranger. Your cousin, so you're gonna honestly have more respect for him, and because that's family. With me, you don't know me from a hole in the wall, so you can give a damn about my feelings or what I say. So yeah, I understand that, and
No,
I respect and
honestly, I
appreciate
do.
it. So yeah,
Honestly, I do. Yeah, I really do. I care about people's feelings. I try to treat people the way I expect to be treated. You know, but
yeah,
if I say something improper or inappropriate, or you feel discomfortable, incomfortable, or whatever, uncomfortable, let me know. Tell me, correct me, so I can correct myself. I
There's
just
no
don't want
problem with that. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
just don't want to step on nobody's toes because you know there if people don't want to admit it, and we finna get truthful here. There is a stigma, and there is some issues between gay men and straight women. And if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. There are some issues in there between us. There are some problems in there.
Yeah.
I've heard females being called fish and all this other stuff as a black woman. So it's kind of insulting, you know. And as a woman born this way, should I listen to those type things? Should I take these type things from a gay person? I don't know. My cousin, like I said, is my cousin. I tell him how I feel. He tell me how, keep it pushing. But that's within our relationship. That's within our compound. I don't want to step on nobody's toes. Because, I kind of hear stuff in the background about what I said and all this, what and the other. But I want you to know, whatever I said, I haven't said anything to step on your toes or to make you feel any type of way. That's your life. I have no heaven or hell to put you in. Okay? I got my own things I need to figure out to try to get my own self in heaven. That ain't my reason to be here. I came here.
Right. Everybody they used to figure out they try to worry about everybody else's issues or drama or who they fucking or whatever.
Right.
You said you don't have a heaven or hell, and neither do I. Yeah. So I mean, I get it.
This and not that.
Right.
But like you don't worry about stepping my toes or offending me because I'm not easily offended. But there is.
I told her I said that I told her you're gonna ask you're gonna answer whatever they want to know. They don't have to be afraid to ask because I just told them the type of person you are. You're like down to earth. You're gonna tell it like it is. Like no, we mostly do. But you ask away.
It's a difference between being curious and wanting to know and getting disrespectful and trying to be nasty. I can spot the difference, and whoever asks a question want to talk, I will clock you. So you can just whatever you want, say whatever you want, but again, just keep it respectful to any and everybody. That's just life, period.
Okay, so your book, A Kaleidoscope of Love. What is it about? You said it was was it before your marriage or after your marriage?
No, yeah, this was way before my marriage. I started writing this and going through this book experience when I was 19. So this was 2000 and after a relationship with a female. And again, it started off as a diary, me getting out my feelings and emotions, and then it started Lucy, and I was like, oh shit, this is some drama. This is a book. And I started writing it as a book. I mean, that's what people like. If you, huh?
So were you involved with someone when this book was being written, or when you thought about this book?
Yes. Again, this was written over it took 10 years to write this book for me to finish it. So yeah, I was with a few people during that time. But yeah, as the relationship changed, I would let somebody know, all right. There is a chance that what we go through could be in a book. Because that's just me and how I express what I write, whether it be my book, journal, music, I write. In my phone, notebook, that's what I do. I love writing and getting my emotions and express myself that way on pen and paper. So, yeah.
Okay.
He's still taking care of her, like breaking her off every week.
Who get broke off every week?
It did.
Okay.
All right. So
so a little delayed was because one of my sisters was here from out of town, so we at the table chitting, chatting, and
tell her we said hello.
Yeah, everything. Oh, laptop going.
Oh Lord.
So now I guess nobody else has any questions, and
Well,
Jay dropped off for a second. Looks like he dropped off, but he might come back. But yeah, don't feel bad. I mean, don't feel anybody if you're on here. And I mean, like I said, these questions were real questions in my inbox, like literally. But I mean, ask him whatever. Like he could tell you, more than I can. I dated one girlfriend and that was it. But I don't, I can't really go into detail as far as all the other
but
stuff because I don't know.
he says he's bisexual.
Right.
Okay, so he's bi.
He's bisexual. Yes.
Goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but he's currently in a relationship with a male.
Yeah, he's currently in a relationship. That was his boyfriend in the photo that I showed on set. So he's currently in a relationship. He's been in a relationship for years. Maybe I don't know.
Did you put one of the questions on your thing asking how when he meet women or is he open about his sexuality at this point, and how do they take him being that he's bisexual?
Because I was gonna, if he doesn't come back, you guys can leave questions in here that I will revisit.
He said coming back shortly. Laptop died.
Oh, his laptop died. Okay, he'll be back. So you wanted the question to be, say that question again?
Yes.
It's similar to the one we had in our debut. Somebody wanted to know what does guys say. She said, when you meet guys, what do they normally say to detect that they're on the deal or bisexual and so? But what was your was similar to that? But what was the exact question you had for him? And I'll put it on there.
Are the guys acceptable to him being bisexual as the females are? What do he feel? Who is he trying to settle down with for the remaining, his years? Is he trying to go where he can have a man and a woman in the household?
I mean, he could, and in theory, in the real world, when it comes to a little bit about, I used to date a bisexual guy myself, and I didn't. This is me answering that question, but I'll let him answer it the way he answers it. But I had a huge problem. I'd rather date a bisexual guy as dating, no fornication, sex, or anything like that, because and older because they're more experienced telling you things that you might need to know that you might have missed out on that you did not get from the female side's point of view. Now, flip side to that, I don't find myself committing to a bisexual guy. If a guy told me, oh, I still like females, or I kind of, because like when you meet guys, they'll ask you that question. Oh, you still date females?
Right.
I've even lied and said I had a child just so I could date a bisexual guy because he looked good. Now his attitude and personality, no, we weren't gonna click because of course he's not acceptable to himself.
Right, he's in the closet.
And I am, so that wouldn't have never worked. So I don't myself personally. I don't date females, but I don't date bisexual men either because we wouldn't get along. I mean, I have gay friends, so and some of my gay friends are gayer than gay. So I know if I wanted to take my boyfriend, I like dating feminine guys to a point. Like they may look, like a dude. I mean, dudes look like dudes anyway, but I'm saying they may carry themselves like a dude outside of the home or whatever, but inside of the home, most of my boyfriends have been more on the feminine side. They clean, they cook, they do the things that females do.
Right.
I am always somewhat the breadwinner of my house anyway, and
right.
I don't mean that as saying, I'm trying to provide for my mate.
Right.
What I'm saying is, a man. That's what a man should do, is take care of the house.
But you did that though.
So, and I've done that in all of my relationships. So
I would say that much.
Yeah, and then another point is like when you're in the gay lifestyle,
man, like you.
Yeah. So I don't. my own self. That's just the type of guys that I like. I've gotten a lot of backlash from it. Oh, your boyfriend should do this and that and the other. You don't know the smaller things that my boyfriend does. So, and I have other things that I deal with. So, I date more or less. I don't date bisexual or DL. I definitely wouldn't date a DL guy. But bisexual men, yes, of course. But I would not ever do that because then I think that becomes to be problems. There's lies that come behind it sometimes. So that's a good question. That I'll ask him if he comes back in here, if he can talk going. Because I kind of want to know that too. Because the DL guy that I dated, he was always finding excuses to get away from his girlfriend. I was actually in a situation where a lady called my house and the guy was coming to visit me from hours away, supposedly being on a family trip to Six Flags, but he was at my house. And then I had to let her know, well, if I don't want your man, like I'm just trying to get money. I'll get a bisexual man for that purpose. Because they always, bisexual men like gay guys, so they like spending money. So yeah, why not? That was in my back days. I don't do stuff like that anymore. But as I was growing up and seeing the lifestyle, that's the only reason why I would have wanted to date a bisexual man. They seem to have all the money. And then again too, with that being said, people go through things all the time. And then most of the bisexual guys that I have dated, they've either got something going on at their household that they just can't talk to their wives about or girlfriends about because again, that's a touchy subject when you're talking about a female that's supposed to be dating you for years and now she finds out that you're bisexual or gay or whatever. That's not a good picture. You know what I mean? So I just say, I tell people all the time, you have to ask your mate if they're legitimately real and they're wanting to be in a relationship with you. That's what they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be honest with you to that part of speak. And it looks like Jay has returned, so I'll bring him back on stage and let you direct that question to him. So I'm going to bring him back out. Welcome back, Jay. All right.
Hey y'all, I'm sorry. My laptop's so ghetto. It died. But it's on the charger all day. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm back. What was the question?
There was a question.
What's going on? I can't hear.
Yeah, I can't be off camera when I do that. I forgot. But she wanted to know how do you between a guy and a girl, right? Does either one of the other parties have issues when it comes to dating you? Like, I'll use Controller as an example, okay? When you met him, did he have a problem with you dating women or still being bisexual? That might clear that question.
Actually, surprisingly, as far as females, there hasn't been a female that I dealt with that had an issue with me being bisexual again because I let everybody know up front. And it's your choice if you decide to want to deal with me or not. It ain't gonna be nothing you find out from nobody like that. I'm gonna tell you myself. And so again, no female again that I've dated has had a problem with it. Guys, on the other hand, have the issue. And I guess that a feeling of, insecurity of not having a woman has or whatever per se, but that ain't it because me it ain't even about the sex. I can't I'm just based on connection and feeling. So it don't even have to be anything about the sex. Like if I'm feeling you and I'm digging you, male or female, I can matter what you said, who I plan on settling down with in life or whatever. Yeah, I mean again, whoever I'm with that makes me happy. It could I don't at a point in my life when I am single, I don't go looking for a woman or a guy to be with. I'm just single. And if somebody approaches me, whether it's a male or female, okay, yeah, we can keep it to whoever I'm vibing with more and have a connection with more, that's what I'm gonna go with. So it doesn't matter if it's a male or female, just whoever I'm vibing with more at the time.
Sometimes
Yeah, that answers my question. That really answers my question. Because I'm like, if he's bisexual, I couldn't foresee a woman having a problem with it because when you being upfront about it and she's already in it, she's already accepted. You said male having a problem with it, you're gonna have that problem. You're gonna because we're gonna clash. You know what I'm saying? It's like having a real thing and having an imitation. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna clash.
No.
Yeah,
Uh-uh.
You know what? I think what we're going to do, we're going to take a break. It's getting juicy. I have some more questions that came in. Cena, I hope I don't butcher the name. Cena says, "Hey, JR, it's on the screen. I hope I don't butcher the name.
Love you.
Hey, we need to take a commercial. We come back. Somebody just addressed the question to me. So, I want to address it, but in my inbox, the weirdest things. I mean, oh my God. But like wow. But I'm gonna let Jay address that to her when we get back because that I don't know where that was going. But I do want to address this food on my phone. This weird stupid question.
No, it wasn't. You weren't going left or nothing. No,
I wasn't going left. No, my question went left, way left. But no. Wow. Did you read? We're going to come back, and I have another question. I'm going to present this question from the chat before we go to question or commercial. Jay has a question. How does he address the situation to his children? Yeah. They want to know how to get children. They want to talk about the children, Jay, from the screen. If you can chime in, we'll take the commercial after that one, okay?
That is a good question.
Okay, so I'm answering this now. We're going to commercial. What we doing?
Jay, I think he's going to commercial first.
Okay.
We're going to go to commercial because, let's do that. I'm going to leave that question on the thing there, but we'll come back in a minute.
Okay, yeah.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, let's do that. That was
y'all.
We'll be right back. Oh, my goodness. Wow. We will be right back, people. Well, I'm back, y'all. We're gonna hold on for a second. I think my guest and my co-host has stepped away from their computers or whatever they're on. I don't know what they're on. They stepped away for a second, but he's gonna address that question when he comes back. Over here, he says. But while we wait on, oh, they're back. Wow, let me bring them back on the thing. They ran back. Looks like they ran. They ran back to the thing. Let me get them on here.
Yeah,
All right, y'all ran back. I was like, what?
I did. I had to come back.
Don't leave.
I had
I
to get that piece of corn.
was about to make my kids plate.
What you cook?
Yeah, I heard you said you were cooking. What did you cook? Yes.
Oh, I made some pot roast, macaroni and cheese, cornbread, rice, yams, cabbage, and strawberry cheesecake pudding.
Somebody in the background laughing. They're probably eating good.
Yes.
Yeah. You did family dinners every week. What is it like at a family dinner at the Max? What is
I
it
love
like?
a man that can cook. I love a man that can cook.
Yes, I can cook. Your boy can throw down.
Oh Lord! Anyway, Lord have mercy.
We cannot stop by on the night because he lives in Augusta.
Lord, JR said we can't stop. I'm sorry.
No, we can't stop by him. He's not in Atlanta anymore. But Jay, answer that question down there. They want to know, how do you address the situation to your children?
I mean, at this point, I don't think they have too much understanding. They know who Kentrell is. They know I have a boyfriend. They know that me and their mom were married. They know that we were together. But yeah, like, I mean, it's not anything that I hear from them. Like, if I'm dating a guy, that yeah, they go see that nigga. After, you know, a little bit. Like, I'm not hiding anything from my kids. I mean, hell, my book is out there, so they're gonna know.
Right.
You know what
You
I'm
can
saying?
say
But,
that. Yeah, you can say that.
like,
Hey, Kentrell, if he's over there.
you know, they know who Control is in my life. So yeah, they is my boyfriend, and talk to them as such. They love that boy.
That's what's up. That's the only thing that matters.
There they go. Look at them right there.
Hey,
Yep.
babies. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, man. I don't ever plan on, you know, keeping anything from them. I mean, if anything, I'll be able to teach them just from my experiences. You know, like, and I'm gonna be real because that's who I am. And nothing's ever sugarcoated, even with them.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah. Yep.
Right. That's what's up. Well, I'm going to get the book. I'm going to read the book, and after I read the book, we got to have it next.
Yes.
I'm going in.
I would love to do that and see how you feel about it, and you know, just get your ideas and any question you have or any
Absolutely.
curiosity. You know, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. My thing is, I just feel like no man have to be on the down low. No man
Yeah.
have to be on the down low. I think that there are women out here in this world that are acceptable to guys that are interested in both parties. You
Yeah.
just have to find that person that's going to compensate you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's no reason for nobody out here to be deceptive and deceiving anybody.
There isn't.
It's not.
Um,
It's not.
I just think that all goes back to, you know, fear. You know, the fear of, you know, what people are gonna think if I
Judgment.
come out, or yeah, you know, being judged. So I mean, I understand it, but I don't even know I can say I was ever DL. I just wasn't out in school, and because I didn't have the opportunity to have an experience with a guy. So how could So when I was 19 and had that experience, I'm like, okay, yeah, so I'm like this and that, and yeah, that's me. that confirmed it.
Growing up with Antonio, we used to play teacher.
Oh, you better stop. You better stop.
Yes. He would always want to be the teacher, right?
Just silly.
And he would always get a sheet and put it on his head like he
Just
had
silly.
hair. And he would be doing all of it. So
She's lying.
no, I'm not. We knew, you know, not as a kid, I knew him as being different. You know what I'm saying? It never dawned on me, you know, that I never knew anything about that. Okay. I never knew anything about if I did see two men. I don't even know, you know, because people was in the house if they did, you know?
Yeah.
But I knew something was different, but as a child, you just don't understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It don't even
Yeah,
matter.
you don't know what it is. So yeah.
I didn't know what it is as we grew up. And he finally came out. It still didn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
It just never mattered to us. And he was like that. He's very different. He's very special.
We are special
And
people.
it just never dawned on me. So I accept him for who he is from a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's done things that I did not agree, especially when it came to sleeping with straight guys. When we lived in Atlanta, me and him like collided. You know, I'm like, you shouldn't be doing that. That's
Yeah.
wrong. You know. And then I'm like, if I see them niggas, I'm gonna tell it. If I
That's what females do, though. That's what they do. I caught your boyfriend with such and such, and it's usually over a spat. But
you
the thing
remember
about that,
the conversation? You remember?
yeah, I remember the conversation, but like, you know, I wouldn't mess with it. There's no. Let me tell you, if a man claims he's straight and he sleeps with a gay man, he's not straight.
He's not straight.
Yeah, he's not straight. Like, there's no sense in saying he might be bisexual, but he's not straight. There's no.
Right.
There's no. I really, in my own personal opinion, I think all men have tendencies. I think a man knows what a man wants. I think a man knows how to. You know, I met this man recently. Okay, the man looked like a straight dude. I mean, straight dude. And the way that I portray myself, I'm always, and we get this question a lot. Who does who? That they don't say who's
Oh my God.
first at all. Who does
Right.
who? Like, what do you mean who does who? We do each other. Like, there's no justifiable who does who type of thing. That's how females or approach us and say, well, who does who? Or they'll look into like,
Who's the man, who's the woman?
who's the man, who's the woman? Yeah. And I mean, what do you mean who's the man? You're looking at two men.
Look, we both got dicks. Ain't no woman over here.
Yeah, right. Unless we've had a sex change, and I know I'm not going that way, but I'm just saying, like, it's you could get acquainted with, and then they always look at us as anti or something, and we're not. Like, we're just some of the most popular gay men that you meet have wrote books. They've been, or bisexual men, they've been, you know, entrepreneurs. They've had businesses and been successful. So, you know, it's a lot of that when women approach us as well as like, okay, well, who does who? That's the main question. I just got that question. One lady, she in my box on a commercial, she was like, ask the question. We want to know, how do you tell who does who? It's not your job to do it.
It's really, I think that's an inappropriate question. That's nobody's business as to who do who. I think the more appropriate question, they would probably want to know who's the male in the relationship and who's the female in the
That's how the
relationship.
question came across.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, who's the man, who's the woman? There is no man or woman that we both got two dicks. And if you
The
both
question was like, she was like, how would you know who does who? I think her question was more or less leaning towards her. She has a boyfriend, okay, And she said her boyfriend always brings a guy over to their house. She goes, how can I tell that too? I don't know. Your boyfriend may be as hood and thugged out as possible, but he may be the one getting done. I don't know.
Baby,
Or it might just be friends. Like, why does it why do you have to be about a guy relationship with another guy?
He may be Cinderella in the bedroom. I don't know. Like, just ask him. Like, I don't know.
install a camera and tell them you've been to go to the grocery store and you'll be back.
Follow. You shouldn't have to follow if somebody that you trust, you shouldn't be following them. You
No,
should
they
ask.
They lie.
I ain't following nobody. I'm gonna follow your ass on Twitter,
Follow your ass.
but I ain't going out in the
No,
streets. I ain't getting in the car chasing nobody.
Cameras. I said install cameras in your home to tell them you're going to the grocery store
Why would you go through that thing?
because he's not going to be honest.
Well, get rid of it. If you have trust issues,
He's not going to be honest.
if a woman or a man and man, woman, whatever. If you have trust issues in your relationship, that's not the person for you. That's not.
Yeah.
You know,
That doesn't work anyway.
in the beginning of your relationship. Those are questions you need to ask in the beginning of your relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
just another reason why I'm upfront direct with everybody.
so many social sites. I mean, it's temptation. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, you got plenty of fish, you got jack, you got grinders, whatever. I tended myself to just kind of, when I go under, I told people last night, and then said, what are you looking for? I said, I'm looking for $10,000.
Give me some.
For me. Like, and then you got a background with the orange hair thing going on. I'm looking for shows for ideas. I'm looking to bring you on my show so you can show people why you hide yourself. Like, especially the sites, they tend to do that too. And they'll ask, you have 5 pictures, 6 pictures, 7 pictures, and they don't have not one picture. That could be just because they're on the DL or they may not want to expose themselves like that. They could have a boyfriend. They could have 2 boyfriends and a girlfriend or a wife and 5 kids.
They can have sister wives and sister wives. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, in today's society, the only way you're going to be knowing what you're dating, you got to be sincere to each other. I mean, it's
You
just,
got to tell the truth. You got to be honest.
Yeah.
That is the thing. You got to
Yeah, be upfront, tell the truth.
yeah, just be upfront. Tell the truth.
And I mean, if it's a guy who's, I guess, quote unquote, sexuality, not sure what he's doing, and so-called selling the DL, but deal with a female, let her know that you're bisexual and that, like, they might be accepted. Like, I'm very surprised.
You know, yeah. You know, when I used to date guys that were bisexual,
Understand how surprised I was when there were females who were still interested and didn't care.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't a thing of, it wasn't a whole thing of like being, you know, doing freaky stuff in the bedroom or whatever. Like most people think, like they just didn't care. Like they just liked me, like for who I was.
Who you was.
I was the first, the only bisexual person they dealt with.
Right.
Yeah, be upfront and let somebody make that decision.
Right.
yeah. You never know. It may turn out to be a magical moment. All 3 of you may go in there. I don't know, but I'm just saying. You never know. The thing about dating bisexual and married, I say totally bisexual. One thing about dating bisexual when it came to me, I've always happy when they left because I knew where they were going. They didn't want to be there. I always going
Yeah.
I was happy when they went home. I gotta get home to my wife. Yay!
But I want to do this out. People think that being bisexual means you just out here slinging dick to everybody, a man and a woman at the same time. They think you got a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and all like if I'm I'm with that dude, no, I don't have permission to sleep with a female when I want to because that's still cheating. If I'm with a chick, no, I don't have permission to go fuck a dude because that's still cheating. Like, don't think that like bisexual people are just out here freaking and sneaking and doing all these people and like no. And like I'm
Gay people for that matter, they
I
say that.
love being in a relationship. So I'm a relationship oriented person. Like I look for relationship and love. So yeah, like if I'm with you, I'm with you, male or female. You know, I mean, you don't have to feel insecure about if I'm with a female, if I'm with you. You don't have to worry about I wonder if he's still thinking about a guy, or if I'm with a guy, or I wonder if he's still thinking about a woman. Like, no, that's not the case. I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about us. Like, yeah, it ain't.
The crazy thing is that think with all gay men, like, or they just sleep around with it. I mean, I desire a relationship. Most bisexual and gay men, that's what they desire in relationships. It's the ones that are outside that always appears to be a problem. They're trying to have something special. It's the ones that are outside doing it.
But I found out from the girl cousin, and then the relationship came after they reached out to Crystal or whatever.
Jay, it was awesome having you come on the show.
Thanks for having me. I was excited when you messaged me. I was like, "Oh, that's so dope! Thank you."
Having out on the show, and I know I don't want to take any more of your Sunday. And I'll talk to you later on Facebook. I do thank you for coming on, at least clearing up some of the questions that they had.
Is your book on audio? Can you hear it audio, or do you have to order it to read it?
No, you do have to order to read it. Yes.
Okay.
Amazon.com. I will have some more actual physical copies myself soon.
Okay.
Where I'm gonna get my website back up and be able to start mailing out and doing autograph books and doing contests and things like that. And
I think you should.
Promo for this second book. Antonio,
Yeah, I missed it.
the
I'm
first
sorry.
book was a mess. The second one, boy, this follow-up is gonna have these people crazy.
You serious?
And the thing is, like, people ask, like, when they read, they ask, why did I want to write a book? And a lot of people don't really think that this stuff, like, I don't want to, it's not an autobiography or anything like that. But it's based on me and my life and my experiences. And a lot of people in there really don't believe that that's something that I've actually gone through, and it is crazy. So reading the book, it's gonna take you through a complete emotional roller coaster. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, make you mad. Yeah, I know you're gonna get mad.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
But again, at the end of the day, that's just my life and what I went through, and I just feel like everything that I've done or said or has gone through in the book is something that can actually help somebody, who's having a hard time coming out or, feeling insecure about their sexuality. Like, I really think it's something that'll give people understanding and give people the real,
All right. A kaleidoscope.
Of love.
Of love. Yes, available on Amazon, and yes, it is now available at Barnes and Nobles. Yes.
I'm sure it is available. I don't remember where I put it from. I was like,
That's what I was talking about. And my book is, the content of my book, but I'm like super shy. It's ridiculous.
No way, shy. Whoa. That is not accurate, but no. He asked me in the chat box at work. That's where we met.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. I reread that. Maybe he didn't say that. And then I realized my reply was, I was like, oh, that's this man right here. I said, he's going to be following with me.
Right.
I was like, are you family? You answer that first, and we can take the conversation.
Yep, that's what happened. And we've been friends ever since. I love Antonio. I love Antonio.
I got into it with the managers in chat. I'm like, boy, you just start cutting some people out in the chat. Like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm taking off the internet because I don't think you're it's like, no way. He's good.
Oh, I have mercy.
Always been there.
Yes.
I appreciate you coming out. When do you think about doing the other book, though? When you got dates?
I didn't hear what you say.
You got any dates?
You went out again.
Do you have any dates set for your next book?
Oh, any dates for the next book? Not right now. No. I'm still working with a new distributor. You know, I am independent publisher on my own, Merrick Publishing, KALEIDOSCOPE Books. But yeah, I'm going through a new distributor, and there's some things that I have to change to go with their format. So yeah, that's what's more of the hold up of the second book. But yeah, it is coming. Please be on the lookout. It is called, what did I call it again? I forgot. Oh yeah. It is called Out of Turn. You're gonna get a follow up to what's going on with Ja. And these new people, you're gonna meet Mona, you're gonna meet Marissa, and you're gonna meet a couple other people.
Put a Wanda in there.
Oh,
Wanda in there.
put a what?
Shay, her name. Shay is butter.
You know, I want you to definitely keep. I put a Q on the end of the thing. I want you to definitely keep us posted when that new book comes up. I might be back on the show, and I will message you through your inbox if I get any other questions from people that you feel those questions in my inbox. They just ask on here.
Yes, any question that you have.
They would rather ask me about questions in private message than come and ask you. And then I don't even know. I can't help you. I'm not delirious.
I mean, you got a question, you can ask me. I'm Gerald Mack, or Author Gerald Mack on Facebook. I don't ask the question. Don't be, inbox me. Don't be disrespectful though. I get you. But yeah, inbox me. Yeah.
You will do that. Yes, yes.
I'm an open book. I don't take offense easily. I can advice you want or may need. I can help you. I mean, I got you. Don't be scared of the kid.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for coming out. Keep me updated on your new book. If you can, and you'll be in touch. I do appreciate you coming out. I think some of the comments, you'll see them over there. They were saying hey, and they were like upset. They were like, I do want to thank you for coming on the show. And you have a wonderful night. Enjoy your family.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I love you guys. Thank you, Antonio. Hit me up. We'll be chatting later, y'all. See y'all later.
See you later.
All right, so yes, guys, that was J.R. Mack, author and writer of Kaleidoscope of Love, part 2. Did you remember the name? I forgot the name.
Out of turn.
Out of time or turn?
Turn.
Time?
Turn.
Like out of turn. Oh, out of turn. Yes, part 2. And we'll bring him on the show again to talk about that book when he brings that book out. Great show. Wonderful show.
I'm going to definitely be ordering the book because, like I said, I want him to come back. I couldn't ask the questions I wanted because I really don't know what the book is about. Yeah. And I guess that's something that this is something new for us. So
Yeah, okay.
I probably
Just get the book and read it. You know, I'm gonna order the book. I was too good to the book signing, but I think I was working at the time and I couldn't go, and I was so disappointed. But if you go to author J.R. Mack um, on Facebook, you'll see his book signings where people came out and they were, you know, signing the book. It was like a very nice setup. He did a
That's
beautiful job. He had a lot of supporters there when he did his book signing, and then his real page is J.R. Mack on his book. So
okay.
author J.R. Mack on his Facebook page about his book, and then J.R. Mack on Facebook is his personal page. So definitely check the book out. Everybody should check the book out. I think you should. I think I'm gonna order the books. I'm gonna, you know, do a drawing for one of the books. I'm gonna have a number between 1 to 500. The closest number gets the book. Maybe you can share it with somebody, like you said. It might help.
Right.
You know, he didn't. It's a fiction book, so it's about him. It's about
Right.
nothing in there is made up except for some of the characters. But the books, the main character of that book is himself. So
Right.
I do think people should read the book. You know, at least it might open a little more light on. I mean, because we can only tell you what we know is from being in the lifestyle itself. We can't tell you how somebody else is going to, you know, a mate of yours. We can't tell you that. Like, I can't tell
And
you.
he said he's not giving no free books. His kids got to eat, honey.
Yeah, the kids have to eat. The two girls, and Jay has, you know, full custody of those girls. I want to say, those girls in Control, that's his life. I mean, that's his new life now. You know, and there was a question in the chat. Somebody asked. I think you were saying something. In Control, that's his boyfriend. He agreed with you on some of your things you were saying about judgment, and
Yeah.
yeah, he agreed. You know, and it was the question about the I guess the part where you were asking about more or less females want to know.
Right.
The question as to how does he address a female versus a guy?
Yeah, he said he's more females are more acceptable to him being bisexual than gay men.
We won't be, because the only thing, like I was saying with me when it came to dating a bisexual guy, the guys tend to be clingy, right? But in our theory, you know, it's wrong, and at the same time, you have to worry about more or less guys
Right.
versus females, because it's just society itself.
Right.
The gay outlet, the social media sites, where I'd say 90% of those people on that site, they could be good people, they could be looking for relationships, but because of things that have happened along the way, versus, you know, what they're dealing with at hand present, it's kind of like eye candy, or even the fact that we're not going to see another guy trying to be in a relationship because there's so many other guys that want this guy.
Right.
There's so many outlets out there, and until you find that person that, you know, gay, bisexual, whatever, you and that person will know that's that match. I mean, but at the backside of it, you got all these other things coming at you left and right. There's no way. Like, I don't personally right now, I don't want a relationship. I don't see myself trying to even have I've done the relationship thing. I've done a 13-year relationship thing. 13 years in a high school diploma, a college degree, starting from kindergarten, graduating, a law degree, for 2 terms of presidential term. That's a long time. That's a lot of your life gone.
Right.
I don't want to relate. Nothing to it. I mean, I don't even date really right now. You have to step aside and find yourself first. Really evaluate those things that you did go through and think about what you could have done to make them better.
Absolutely.
And then thinking forward ahead, so much stuff going on now, you just kind of put yourself at a standstill and say, I'm going to focus on me. Like, I want to make me better.
Right.
Physically, whatever. Just make yourself better and let love find you.
Right.
Like you're saying, he never goes out and looks for anybody. Let it find you.
Right.
You know, that's the way I look at it now.
Let it find you. So
it's theirs. If it's for you, it'll find you. And if it's too late, then that's not the plan that God had for you. There's another plan for you somewhere. Maybe it's a career. Maybe it's a, you know, focusing on writing a book. I don't know. Um,
Right.
something else is in the cards for you. Um,
Right.
so, I totally agree with some of the things he was saying, though. But to the question to somebody that asked me in my messenger, somebody asked me why let guys kiss on me. They wanted to know about that, and I don't have a problem with kissing on me, but you're not going to be able to kiss on me to getting colors and stuff on me. I'm too hard for that. I don't. I mean, everybody likes sex. I hope, but it's a time and place for exploring or coming out with certain things. Like, no, nobody's going to kiss on my neck and put hickeys on me. I'm not going to. That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
I would never do something like that. I've done some things back in the past growing up, and we all have or have tried things that we weren't, quite frankly, thought we'd ever do. But I wouldn't dare go outside of in public with, marks on my body. No, that was a question that I
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm glad. I like people to ask questions. I mean, I like people to ask questions. It's stuff that I want to ask about. It's things that I want to ask street people because I've never really experienced that. Like I've never experienced a child, and like Jay had 2 girls. I never experienced any of those things, and I've always wanted a child. So it's a lot of things that I want to ask too to the straight side, and I'll probably do a show where I have people come on like that. Um, and then had another question was I born gay? You're not born gay. You're not born, God didn't plan for somebody to be born with cancer. And God didn't plan for somebody to be born with one arm. But you're not born gay. Gay or tendencies, things that have happened or have seen. Some people I've seen, friends that have been molested by their own father. One of my boyfriends was molested by his father, you know. Um, and we have had that conversation
So
tonight about that. So um, it was a very we used to call it heart to heart talks, and we would have those on Wednesdays, and we would sit down and we would talk about personal things that we didn't know about each other as we were getting to know each other. And that's what made us closer because he shared some things with me, I shared some things with him, and it made us develop a relationship. And then we were able to be together for the time that we were, but we understood each other. We were able to understand each other from some of the things that we had experienced in life in itself. You know what I'm saying? So,
so are you saying that it's a choice? It's a choice.
yeah, it's a choice. The thing about being, trying to date guys and things like that, I've thought about plenty of times. Oh God, I wonder if I date a girl, would it be different? I wonder if I dated a girl, would it be different in having a relationship, or would things be, coincide differently? But would I get that child that I want? You think of things like that. But it is a choice. I have a choice right now. If I wanted to date females, I can date females. Does females
Right.
find me
Right.
attractive?
Right.
Um,
Right.
I don't,
Right.
does lesbians find me attractive? I don't know because I don't listen to lesbians. But yeah, females do. And so is guys.
What do you say about the ones that be like, I felt like I was a woman. I felt feminine. And they go and no longer want to live their life as a man, but
Well, I,
want to live their life as a female.
I can relate to that. And I have a good friend who passed away. He got in prison. John was a hoot. He was funny. He was silly. And the reason why those people choose to do things like that is because they weren't accepted in society as a gay person, number one, and they were accepted more as if they could go put on, flag or go have a sexual change and become transgender. So they feel they can go out and be who they are, and that's okay too, because you never know again what drove those people to that instant. Like,
Right.
he
Right.
wasn't accepted by family. He wasn't. He was always on the streets. He was always making making ends meet for him. But when he became we call it drag or illusion or transgender, transsexual. He was accepted more by the question with the bisexual anything, he was more accepted by bisexual men because he looked like a female. He felt more loved by a male counterpart as being a female. He felt like he didn't have what it took to offer as a man to another man. He
As
felt
a
like he
man.
could do it as a woman.
Right,
Uh,
right.
so, a woman is more softer. A woman is more, lovable, more tender. So they kind of mesh that way. That's
Right.
why he did what he did, and he met a lot of guys as being. Uh, I'm gonna call it. I'll call John transgender. He was almost there.
Yeah, he was almost there.
Yeah, and
I
so
think the only thing that was stopping him probably was the surgery.
the surgery, and he just didn't have the support as to,
Yeah,
drag queens, transgenders, cross dressers, whatever. They have a hard life already. Number one, they got two strikes on them because number one, they're gay. And then number two, they're trying to be someone and opposed to being that they're not. They're trying to be something that they're not.
which is a female.
Right. So
Right.
when as gay people go out, we already have strikes against us. We have the HIV strike, number one. We sleep with all men, number two. You're not a woman, but we're trying to be a woman and we're not. And stuff like that. So we already have so many different strikes. So you imagine someone trying to be loved by society itself, and they find themselves to be putting on wigs and makeups, and then constantly making their own clothes and doing their own hair, running in pageants and shows. They're loved by that.
That culture,
They,
that
yeah,
group of people.
to go backstage and
Yeah,
meet more drag queens that are doing things that they're doing,
right.
and they're being accepted. So
They're around people that kind of goes back. I know this off subject to 6ix9ine when I heard him say he was comfortable. He slept one for the first time in his life in his cell because he was around all snitches, all rats.
right, so that's what I'm saying. It's like you lay down with dogs and fleas, you're gonna get fleas.
Right,
Um,
right,
you associate yourself with violence, you're gonna get violence.
right. So you start associating yourself with people that do the same thing that you do.
It becomes a home. It becomes love.
Gotcha.
It becomes affection. It becomes, they're looking forward to you. Ron was the type of person he could put on a sheet and could wrap a sheet. He did this in prison.
Yeah, yeah.
He and they always say when people go to prison, they don't have respect. John had respect. John has been in, I know, 5 different prisons, hardcore prisons, Bullock County, Draper, St. Clair County. He's been in all the prisons. John had never went to prison and had issues of being Felicia. He could go to prison and be Felicia Everhart. He could come out and be Felicia Everhart. He went to prison the last time he got killed a week before to get out because he was involved with income tax stuff and the people didn't get their money. And I told John to stop doing stuff like that. 'Cause
Yeah, you did. You did.
I told him, don't do that. You have somewhere to go when you come home. Don't be doing that. And he got killed, and I hate that. But he was himself. I would be literally sometimes. And one thing about it, I never hated my friends for doing things like that. I never understood it myself either. Until I sat down and talked to him, and he explained to me, Miss Antonio, you're the best friend that I got. You accept me, and I accepted him. You know why? Because he made things happen in my neighborhood. And I mean, everybody's been down and out.
I mean, our family accepted him. He came home with feed him, whatever,
Yeah. So
give him somewhere to stay.
I wasn't embarrassed to go out to public with him. I remember one time we were at the mall in Auburn. And we were staying with my sister in some apartments over on near somewhere over there, near Anthony. And they were worried about what we were going to eat. And a man wanted some shoes. And my niece, they love them. And John said, come on, we're going to go to the mall. I said, oh, John, I can't. I'm not going to go. No, he was in drag. I mean, he did his own hair and makeup and made his own clothes. I said, Lord, I got to go in the mall with John. I said, I'm today. I went in. I wasn't going to go in there by myself. So I went in there and he got me and them some shoes, and John became Uncle John. It was still doing drag race. I love him to death. And he would win pageants and shows and everything. But he was loved by that society, you know.
Yeah,
He had a gay family and they loved him. His own family didn't love him. You know,
right.
we loved him, but
Right.
he wasn't accepted by his own family. So that's a
And
lot.
that have to be hard. That
Yeah,
have to be so hard
it
to
is.
not be accepted by your own family. You know, you can't. This is who you are. You know, I don't know why. I feel like sometimes because when it comes to me as a female, I can look at another female and be like, she cute. You know what I'm saying? Or she fine. Or
Oh yeah, I mean, you do that all the time. I look at it, I'm like, oh shit, I'm going, she is gorgeous.
she got a nice shape, you
Yeah,
know, but I don't look at them like, ooh, I'd like to do something to her. I
yeah,
think it's gotta be, I think it's here. I
right,
think there's something where it cuts off for me, it don't cut off for them. You know what I
exactly. Right. Well, I
mean?
just, you know, we don't choose. Nobody, like, I'll flip it around. No one chooses. I mean, you choose to be straight. Um, you choose to be gay.
Right.
JR,
I
right?
mean,
You
right
can be
there
like,
and go
everybody has
choose
their
a
own.
woman, you know?
Yeah.
That's a choice for
Yeah.
me at this point in time in my life.
It
It
is.
would definitely be a choice for me.
Yeah. It's a choice. I mean, you know, and people look at it as being a bad thing, but you know, I've seen so many, and I've seen this on both sides. I've had conversations with people that I used to be associated with about their gay boyfriends. Oh, my gay boyfriend beats on me, and he cheats on me, and he does this. They do that straight too. I mean, they do
They
it.
do that straight too.
It's not like, you
Man
know,
is a man. At the end of the day, I don't care what you're doing sexually,
right,
you are a man.
still a man. Yeah. And like I was saying, men, all people have tendencies, okay? But in statistically, you'll find a man trying to fornicate with another man because a man knows what a man wants.
Look, where they say the same thing about a woman, they say a woman knows what a woman wants.
It could be. Like I said, I've never experienced that. So
I ain't never experienced it either. And I don't want to experience it.
I can tell you with a man, I'm just silly.
My freak out like, girl, don't never say never,
So back in the day, I
girl.
used to say the same thing you said. I used to say, "Oh God," like some of the sexual questions, things of that nature. I used to say, "I never do that." You know,
Right,
I always say that.
right.
But the thing about it is, I always tell people to
Never say
keep,
never.
keep your brain
Yeah,
on guard, but
right,
always be open to suggestions. You know, my last relationship, we neither one of my relationships we had sex often. I'm just not a sexual type of person. Um, and it's not to say that I'm afraid to have sex or anything like that, or I have something. It's just that I just don't like sex. There are females, straight females, they're gay men that like to have sex every day. I if you do that, you're not. There's nothing to have. You don't have anything left.
you don't have nothing left.
There's nothing left. There's nothing left to give somebody. There's nothing left for somebody to explore and find out. There's nothing left. Like so, all these people are like, oh yeah, I gotta have sex. I gotta get. We have sex every day. That will play out. Like that. It's ridiculous. You're not gonna have anything else to have sex for. Like really, you have to find things like finding a third person to bring in your bedroom because you're gonna find yourself sneaking out doing things that somebody's not giving you, and then now it becomes a cheating thing, right? You
Right,
know, and that all would be all eliminated if you just sit down and talk about it. Like I learned that the hard way. You have to sit down sometimes and just talk about it. And if you find out that the conversation that you had is, you know, obsolete, nobody's really caring about it, then that's not that late for you. That's okay too. You know what I mean? You want
right,
to be happy. You don't want to be, you know, depressed and miserable all the time. You want to be happy. So,
right.
I mean, you know, no matter what, people will judge you. They'll do anything. But then you, the person like myself, you'll start thinking about those years, and you'll look back and say, "Where did this come
Right,
from? I
right,
lost a lot of things, and I gained." I mean, not that it was a bad relationship. It's just it didn't move anywhere. You know, you hear about people having white picket fences, 5 cars, big houses. Those are relationships. But if you don't have nothing to show for it, you lost out. And then now to bring all of that baggage to somebody else with their baggage, they're coming from, you know, being on the apps all the time or whatever, and you got your stuff, their stuff. That's not the person for you either. You know what I mean? So you kind of want to be single. You just kind of
Right.
like, let me find me.
Right.
Let me drink me a half a case of beer and be happy than arguing about eating at Red Lobster. Like, come on, who does stuff like that? Or arguing about your money. They don't have any money. You follow me? So it gets old. It's very old. But that's yeah, but nobody has. You have a choice to be gay. Like if I could say right now when I log off this computer, I'm gonna go walk and try to meet me a female. That's a choice.
That's
You
a
know what I'm
choice.
saying? Yeah, you have a
Right.
choice. Kind of like going to McDonald's, you want a Big Mac, but they don't sell Big Macs. You got a choice to order the quarter pounder.
Right.
It's a choice. So nobody. Yeah, I don't think people are born anything. I think people are born the way God made them.
Right.
And after time, if somebody has went through something like the gay thing, it's either because of abuse, not being loved by somebody, maybe normally family, or trying to even please your family, and know you're not gay. And, I mean, know you're not bisexual or straight, and you're trying to please somebody because your dad got two other sons to play football, you want to play the piano, and now you got to kind of fit in, but you're still not happy.
Right.
Because you're trying to be somebody that you're not, and you're going to be unhappy. And you're going to take all of that unhappiness and bring it to somebody else with
Right.
my experience. And then at the end of the day, that person made you unhappy. And then you try to find ways to get out of it, but you're trying to feel guilty because you want to be there for that person, knowing that's not the right thing for you to do.
Right.
And it becomes to be very depressing. So you get to a point to where you just focus on yourself. And that's going to be the best for you to focus on yourself. It's okay to be single. It's okay to look at other people, make compliments, and just don't get yourself intertwined a bind where you got to sit there now and you got to pretend to be happy and date somebody and you're not. Just be single. Let it find you. It'll find
Right.
you. If it's for you, it'll find you. If it's not for you, focus on something else.
So that's what we've been doing.
Buy 3,000 drive 5 cars yourself.
That's what I've been doing, honey.
Just be
Focus on something else.
Yeah, it'll be just focus on something.
Please. It ain't even worth it.
It's not worth it. I mean, you might be bored. Sometimes be bored. You were bored with the person.
Yeah. But you see, Carter, people and got bored with Offset. I knew that wasn't gonna last long.
Oh wow.
You usually when a relationship is based on sex, it don't typically last long anyways.
It doesn't.
No.
No, it doesn't.
Straight or gay. If it's sex, it's not gonna last.
It doesn't. And the thing is, people try to use that as a cover up,
Right.
When that's all over with. I don't know anybody that has had sex 24 hours straight. And there's only 24 hours in a day. But at the end of the day, when that is over, you're still unhappy though.
Unhappy.
After.
Unhappy.
The best relationship is with somebody that you can get up in the morning, laugh. You can laugh during sex, and then you go out and you're able to still look at each other. It's kind of like your best friend.
Right.
It's statistically you can't find that these days.
No, you do not.
No.
I don't know where all the good men's at, child, gay or straight, but they need to show up.
They're waiting. they're being single, waiting. I mean, fine, it'll find you.
I'm waiting. I'm still waiting. He better not wait till I get in the damn new house and then he want to show up because I ain't gonna tell him no, sir. You should have came when the struggle was real. It ain't real no more.
Oh my God.
Dog, I done did all the leg work now, dog. I'm sorry. I don't need you no more. I got this. I got it.
Oh wait, there's questions again. I think. Hold on, let's see. No, the people that came in the show. Those leaving hearts and smiles and stuff like that. Can I get a free copy of the book? That's old. How much are the books? I missed those questions. I'll have to post that on the page.
Yeah, you posted on the page.
Yeah, I'll go search. I can get the prices for
I'm
the
gonna get ready to get off this thing. I got my corn is over there. I had to stop boiling my corn. I was gonna make me some devil eggs. I had to stop boiling my eggs. My charcoal's out there on the grill with the damn stuff on them. All I got to put is the fire to them. Yeah. I I got me some pork chops. Okay, I got them babies over there sauteing. They're gonna be delicious.
Well, you enjoy your meal. I
I'm gonna enjoy.
gotta work on the next show. Oh my god.
I just shared a link with the shooting that happened in Lafayette last night. I'm gonna see if I sent it to you. I
I,
sent it to Jan and Passions.
I didn't see it. I read a lot of messages on Facebook about it. Prayers to the Fed area tonight for you guys. Tragedy you guys had there.
Yeah, that's so sad what happened. Bam, Bam, son, my prayers go out to you. That's
Yeah.
so sad.
Prayers to the.
That's so sad.
Mhm.
I just wish they would just
3
put
months.
the guns down. They need to put these guns down. They taking innocent lives with these guns. Y'all need to put these guns down. Seriously. This is ridiculous. You don't bring a gun to a fight that somebody don't have a gun, or you don't bring a gun to a knife fight. What are you bringing a gun? What you pulling the gun out for? Are they too afraid to fight?
Wow.
Are they too afraid to fight? Everybody want to pull out a gun. You're taking folks' lives. Y'all got to stop. Kids, and it's kids killing kids. Y'all got to stop this. This is ridiculous. They need some stricter gun laws or something. How is these folks getting these guns? I tell you, we need to open the church doors. These church folks need to get back out here on these corners and on these streets and start having some revivals and stuff. I don't give a damn if you got to put your mask on. Get out there in these streets. God said for y'all to go out here in these highways and these byways and get out here and teach these people in his word. Because this ain't gonna cut. Get off the internet. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter is not where y'all supposed to be at. Get your asses out here. The Bible says get out there in the streets, in the trees, in these folks' yards and stuff, and tell these people, give them the word of God so they can put these guns and stuff down. It's y'all that's failing the people because half of y'all religious folks is goddamn scared of the folks that's on the street. Y'all hiding behind the internet trying to give them the word. They ain't listening to y'all on these internets. Get out here in these roads. You used to go in my grandmama yard. You remember when they used to come in my yard years ago and have revivals and
Yeah,
stuff?
I used to have across the damn tent revivals. Those are gone. They need to bring that back. That was really good. Yeah. I remember the tent revivals. Yes. Sister Gwendolyn 99 used to
The
come
world
and
needs Jesus.
yeah.
And that's all I got to say for tonight. We got to mention the Lord's name. If it ain't his name, it's all in vain.
Right. Well, I do want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight with myself and my co-host Lachey. I do again want to thank our author and writer J.R. Mack for coming out.
Thank you, JR.
Yeah, thank you, Jay, for coming. Look forward to talking to you in part 2 comms. You guys make sure you go and like us on Facebook. On the Facebook page, let's talk. We are on not Instagram. We're not there yet. We're on what's the other thing? YouTube. Yes, YouTube. You can like us on YouTube as well. Subscribe to our channel. And again, y'all have a good night. Friday evening at 6 o'clock. Our new time. Well, not our new time, but our Friday night time will be 6 o'clock. Judy Holloway will be here once again to talk about how she's going to try to, when the pandemic ends, start her business back. The love, what is it called? Love for London's Love of Life. Yes, London's Love of Life. That's what it's called. London's Love of Life.org. And then the next Sunday we got a packed house with Delaney Cows on here with some gospel singing. Yeah, and she's supposed to hopefully bring Hassan Green as special guest, so that should be a nice treat.
Yes.
On show. Yes. So we are trying to move out and then move up. And make sure y'all go like the page. I think everybody that's supporting the page so far, y'all have a good night.
Good night.
Have a good work week. Have a productive week. Yes, have a productive week. Y'all have a good one. Thank you, Alicia. Bye. Have a good one. Bye. Ooh. You gotta get off my screen. All right, have a good night. Talk to you next week.